Hi, it's Jay here, and today I'm going to be taking you on a deep dive into my TV and entertainment setup, which was put together at the start of 2021. I'm going to tell you what tech products I'm using, why I've chosen them, and how it all works together to create that home cinema experience I was after. The timestamps will let you jump to a specific product. Let's get straight into it. So here we have the mythical PS5, the great white powerhouse that appears once every few months online just to remind you it still exists, before it disappears into the shadows again, unless you were lucky enough to pick up one in the last few months following its release in November 2020. I consider myself a casual but dedicated gamer, and having been the proud owner of the last two generations of Sony's flagship console, it's been a treat to put the PS5 through its paces over the last 6 months. Some of the key improvements the PS5 has over its predecessor includes improved processing power, allowing smoother, more detailed, rich gameplay up to a max of 4K at 120Hz, the DualSense controller which immerses you in the game better than ever with improved haptic feedback and adaptive triggers, and the lightning quick SSD which chops down loading times so much they're pretty much non-existent. For me, this is the biggest draw. Loading times do add up, especially for some of the large open world games I like to play, and with life barging in and taking up significant hours in a day, I'd choose to be in the game rather than staring at a loading screen. Accessories I use are the Sony DualSense charging station to charge my DualSense controllers, the SteelSeries Arctis 7P wireless headset, compatible with the PS5's 3D audio, and the BassMe portable subwoofer for that extra immersion. The Nvidia Shield TV Pro will be familiar to some, but maybe not all. It was only when I was researching set-top boxes late last year for the new setup that I came across it. The Shield has gone through a couple of iterations, the latest Pro version being released in 2019, and much like the PS5, the Shield is a beast. Nvidia are probably most known for producing graphics chips and are no strangers to computing power, and have used that knowledge to create a set-top box that can play streamed or downloaded games, but it's also very snappy when it comes to loading up streaming apps, which is the main way I use it. Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, BBC iPlayer all load up in a couple of seconds or less. I definitely noticed a significant improvement from loading the apps up on my PS4 Pro, which is what I previously used as my main gateway to streaming apps. It also gets me to content quicker than my Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K, and although both support HDR and Dolby Vision, which improves the accuracy of the colours on screen, helping the picture to look more detailed, only the Shield has AI upscaling. This can take standard or high definition content that isn't 4K and use artificial intelligence to improve the image to 4K quality in real time, making it look crisper and more detailed. I also use Plex on the Shield with my content stored on a Synology NAS. And what I was looking for was the quickest access to my content and the best possible picture, and that's what I got. Also, I want to highlight the remote, which has some really useful features including backlit buttons, which are great for when you're watching things in the dark, and I can also use my Amazon Echo to play a sound on the remote should it get lost down the side of the sofa. So moving on to the centerpiece of my setup, which is the 65-inch LG CX OLED TV. This is part of LG's flagship 2020 series of smart 4K OLED TVs. Unlike my bedroom TV, an older LG model which uses LED backlights to light the picture, each pixel on an OLED TV is self-lit, and this gives enhancements over standard LED TVs, including higher contrast ratios and deeper black levels, which is great for movie night. The CX has LG's A9 Gen 3 processor, which supports picture processing and ensures I can get through menus and launch integrated apps swiftly. One annoying thing I found with the Nvidia Shield is a few apps are actually missing, including Now TV, which were available on the TV. So having now booted up Now TV, it doesn't have 4K content, but having a TV with a powerful enough processor means it can upscale video content to produce a better picture. A big selling point for the LG OLEDs is gaming. The CX has 4 HDMI 2.1 ports, which support 4K at 120 frames per second. For a next-gen console such as the PS5, this is a great companion as the TV can handle the raw amount of data the PlayStation sends its way, allowing for smoother, more detailed gaming experiences. The CX also has a very low input lag and a fast response time, important during those fast-paced action sessions, along with other technologies to improve the gaming experience. There is currently a newer version out in the LG C1 with a few differences and improvements, but the CX still gives a great experience and can now be found for discounted prices. Next, moving on to the soundbar. This is the LG SJ7 Flex 320 watt soundbar, which has the handy feature of being used as two separate units with an additional wireless subwoofer. I originally bought this back in 2018 as I wanted to replace my TV's internal speakers, but the shape of the TV stand didn't allow for a soundbar to sit in front of it. Fast forward 3 years, and having chosen the TV unit, which you can see housing my setup, the two main units fit perfectly underneath the floating shelf. I've located the subwoofer towards the other side of the room and it connects wirelessly. Being an older model, it doesn't support the latest Dolby Atmos sound format, which the LG CX and Shield do, but this 2.1 channel setup more than fills up my modestly sized living room with whistling highs and deep bass. I have seen reviews of the LG CX highlighting the difficulty of putting a soundbar in front of it due to the low stand, and I think an updated version of this could be a great option for these situations, as my version has since been discontinued. Next, my lighting setup consists of the Philips Hue Bridge, the Hue Play HDMI Sync box, two Hue Play light bars, and a Hue gradient light strip. Onto the lighting now. I have the gradient light strip on the back of the TV and the play bars on the floor beside the TV unit. As it all sits in front of a plain white wall, colour is able to flood the area behind the TV with limitless colour combo options. I can control these using the Philips Hue app or my Amazon Echo to be my voice assistant of choice. And there is a good choice of lighting scenes to choose from to get the right level of ambience. I have the Nvidia Shield plugged into the HDMI Sync box, with the Sync box able to analyze the video signal being sent from the Shield to the TV, using it to replicate the colours being shown. This deepens the level of immersion by creating the effect of the picture spreading beyond the TV's physical borders. The Hue Bridge is the heart of the Philips Hue system, working in conjunction with the app to control and manage all my Hue lights, including the ones here and two Hue Goes in the bedroom. Now this slick little white box is probably the least exciting. This is a Netgear GS908E 8-port Smart Managed Plus Ethernet switch. My Asus ZenWiFi XT8 router, in a very Harry Potter-esque style, is literally in a cupboard under the stairs, with a couple of things connected to it, including the Synology NAS. There is also an Ethernet extension through the walls from the cupboard to the back of the TV unit, and the network switch is connected to this, allowing the Hue Bridge, PS5, Nvidia Shield and TV to be directly connected to the router via Ethernet. Ethernet cable is a more reliable connection method as it can use more bandwidth than using Wi-Fi. This helps to reduce buffering and other issues when streaming content or gaming online, which in normal circumstances might not be a big issue unless you have multiple streams happening at the same time, which can happen depending on the size of your household and how much bandwidth you get from your internet service provider. And so we've come to the end of this little tour. Thanks for sticking with me. I hope you found this video useful. If maybe you're thinking about your own setup and looking for some ideas. Any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments, and I look forward to you joining me on the next one. See you later.